What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Formula 1 Manager 23. We are about to start round number 7 at Monaco. Monaco being one of the hardest circuits to make overtakes on, so I'm really hoping for a really good qualifying. But we will see that when it happens. We're going to look at the calendar just real quick. Obviously, the Monaco is right there. We have some manufacturers coming in. We'll look at that in a minute. I did set a design, so on June 22nd, not a design, a research. Our research for underfloor will be done on June 22nd, and we can start another one, but I only had money for one, so I put in all the efforts on that one. But it is okay because the week after, we have a new ATR period. So we will be able to do another research after that one, and that will be done right after the Canadian Grand Prix and right before the Australian Grand Prix, round 10. So in between round 9 and round 10, we'll get that research done, and we will be able to start a new one. And that's still, 13, 14 rounds to go before anything. So I think we have time. Money is a little short as we are only 145,000 in the bank at the moment. But that is okay. As we go and look at our car part development manufacturer, I do have chassis. I have chassis in the works. I've got suspensions in the work. I'm gonna need more chassis for sure. But we have to do good in races to get there. And then there's the research. I just started that, so we're gonna have. I should probably put more than 5. No, I think 5 is the max you can have on one anyway. Anyway. That is everything that I can think of at the moment before we start the race. I went through and I looked, and that's the only thing I could really see. But, you know, after a good Grand Prix last week with the Imola getting 4 points with Kevin Magnussen, we're hoping for another good one now. And like I said, Monaco is one of the hardest ones to do overtakes on, so I'm really hoping we have a good qualifying. And speaking of, I will see you there.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Qualifying means everything around Monaco. With little chance of overtaking in the race, getting as far up the grid as possible and keeping the car intact is every driver's goal on this unforgiving circuit.
Given what we've seen of late, what do you think of Kevin Magnussen there, Karun?
You can tell that we've been watching a driver with real confidence here, and it makes a difference, I can tell you from my own experience.
Good point, Karun. Let's get on with qualifying.
And here we are, Q number 1 here in Monaco. I won't lie, my drivers didn't do too bad in practice, but just enough for me to worry. I still think we'll be able to beat our overall goal of higher than P15 in the race, but hopefully we can still get some points. I think our best was up there, but at the end of practice, our best was P11. But like I said, maybe we can get a good qualify in and get some points. Who knows? Only one way to find out. And I just realized that I forgot to put a new ERS system on Kevin Magnussen's car. As we go and we look at their times. I'm sorry, Nico Hulkenberg's car, not Kevin Magnussen's. Purple sector 1 for K-Mag, but Nico Hulkenberg will be faster through the first sector. Nico Hulkenberg usually always doing better in qualifying, but then K-Mag always coming back and doing better in the races. Sector 2 comes up, that's a purple for K-Mag. Sector 2 coming up, it's a green for Nico Hulkenberg. Can we get good time? What happened? Okay, so a 1:12.1 for K-Mag. And here comes Hulkenberg, who did not do a 1:12.1, but 0.3 faster, or slower, a 1:12.4. And as Nico Hulkenberg is coming around to start his second lap, hopefully he improves. He does have a really bad ERS system. But we are going to keep an eye on him as he does improve through the first sector. He does get a green sector 1. Now off into sector 2. through the tunnel. He's got a long way. K-Mag also improving through Sector 1 as he also gets a green Sector 1. Coming to the end of Sector 2, another improving sector for Nico Hulkenberg. As he comes around the last turn down to the finish line.
He will take the checker.
He will cross. He will improve to P10. We're going to go watch Kevin Magnussen. We're not going to speed it up. It looked like a Red Bull went in there. That was Perez that went in a yellow Sector 2, but can he get a green Sector 3? We have no idea. He finishes with a 1:12.2 being his best lap, which I believe was his first lap. I could be wrong. Alright, I did a little mishap there trying to keep up with things, but my thing wasn't where it needed to be, and I didn't slow it down in time to watch the beginning of it. But we have a purple Sector 1 for Nico Hulkenberg and a green Sector 1 for Kevin Magnussen. For our first laps, we have no idea how to... No, actually we can, because someone else is doing a faster first sector already, as now we have a purple sector for Sector 2. Nico Hulkenberg coming across with a 1:12.1, which was faster than last time. Here comes Kevin Magnussen, almost 3/10 behind. We're going to look at the last lap, and that's a 1:12.4 for Kevin Magnussen, which is about the same. And Leclerc's putting in a 1:11.4 1 second. That is crazy. And I did it once again. I forgot to slow it down in time. But we have it slowed down now with a green Sector 1 for Kevin Magnussen as he is improving thus far. We're going to go and look at Nico Hulkenberg, who is also improving. We love to see it. Kevin Magnussen coming out of the tunnel around this slow turn thing. I don't know. With a green Sector 2, we love to see it. That is the checker flag. We know it's the checker flag. You don't have to slow us down for that. And K-Mag coming to the line. He's going to improve all the way up to P5. We love to see it. And Nico Hulkenberg. Nico for the, I believe, the first time here in this series, not improving to Q3. And in fact, still falling behind as we go and we watch Ocon as he comes across the line. Thankfully, not doing better than Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg eliminated at P14. But as we get to the start, I finally did something right. Here in Q3, we get to see the start of the qualifying lap, the first qualifying lap for Kevin Magnussen. Here in Q3, he's a stranger of Q3, as I do believe this is his first Q3 he's ever been involved in, and not having to battle his teammate through these sectors. He is going to get a purple Sector 1, not worrying if he's faster than Nico Hulkenberg, because as of right now, he is faster because he's in Q3. Nico Hulkenberg is not. 2 purple sectors, because he was the first one to come through. He's now got a green Sector 1, but he's going to come across the line with the fastest lap in the lap to beat, which is a 1:12.1, which is very unfortunate because we have seen a 1:11.4 thus far. And coming around the last turn to start his very last qualifying lap, we are going to watch Kevin Magnussen and hope that he does improve as he's coming to the end of Sector 1 now with a green Sector 1. We do love to see it. On to Sector number 2. Just hoping we improve, especially past that AlphaTauri. What is the AlphaTauri doing in front of us? That cannot be. That it cannot. Green Sector 2, we love to see it. We are improving throughout this lap. Hopefully he does improve through the rest of the lap as we go into visor cam just to finish out this lap. Improves all the way up to P8 above George Russell and Yuki Tsunoda. So the only people we're worried about are the people that are behind him. So we are going to watch George Russell as he comes. Where is Yuki Tsunoda? Yuki Tsunoda is a lot closer to the end. So we're going to watch Yuki Tsunoda first, who goes into the pit lane. So we do not have to worry about him. And George Russell, as he is going to come across this line very shortly. Does he actually go to the line? He does come to the line. He finishes does not improve past Kevin Magnussen, so it is going to be a P8 start for Kevin Magnussen here in Monaco. Your top 10 is Carlos Sainz starting on pole, Charles Leclerc right behind him, a Ferrari 1-2, Fernando Alonso P3, Sergio Perez P4, Lance Stroll P5, Max Verstappen. Is the man okay? Did Red Bull forget that they were the fastest vehicle? What is going on? Lewis Hamilton P7, Kevin Magnussen finishing P8 in last week's race, starting P8 in this week's race. George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda making the top 10. That, to me, is absolutely wild. Off to the race we go.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start.
Haroon, what do you think of Nico Hülkenberg, his chances, and his form of late?
You know, it's not going well for them at the moment. They haven't been able to put everything together, and it's going to be a lot of work to get back to where they need to be.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix. The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers prepare for the 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix. Yuki Tsunoda will be hoping things go his way today.
Starting P10 puts them in the right place to get some points, but there's still a lot to do.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Away we go here in Monaco. Before I forget, we are going to go ahead and turn these things on. And there's a virtual safety car already, a red flag. Nico Hülkenberg didn't even make it to the first turn, and we have a red flag. Alonso, Leclerc, Perez, Lance Stroll, all out of the race as we are watching a Ferrari. Ooh. Yeah, I don't blame you. What a start. What a start. I really hope that wasn't one of my drivers who were also out, because we had Kevin Magnussen up at the top of the race. And no, they are not out of the race. They are still there. So just real quick, because I was going to tell you anyway, we are doing a mediums to softs for Kevin Magnussen and a hards. I said softs, I meant mediums. Mediums to hards for Kevin Magnussen and hards to medium for Nico Hülkenberg. So Alonso, Perez, Lance Stroll, and Charles Leclerc all out of the race. That's 4 more spots for both of my drivers. And yeah, Nico Hülkenberg.
The track is ready, and so are the drivers. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go, part 2, just making sure that my tactics are exactly where they're supposed to be as we make it to and past turn number 1 here on lap 3 already. That wild start here in Monaco already. Charles Leclerc has always wanted to win here in Monaco, but he is not going to get that chance this year. He's going to have to wait until next year to do so. As we are watching Kevin Magnussen right now all the way up into P6. Everything's looking great. Who is that? That is a Williams and a McLaren side by side. Are they actually fighting right now through these slow turns? That they are, and it looks like it's going to be Lando Norris who's going to win that battle. But hopefully Nico Hülkenberg can pull away from them, as he is already over a second behind P10. He needs to do some catching up right now, I do say. We're going to go ahead and push, because I forgot about the red flag giving us so much more extra gas. And they are still fighting all the way in the back there. That is the fight to watch right now. Kevin Magnussen all the way up in P6, a second and a half behind Yuki Tsunoda. I'm sure that won't last long, as Yuki Tsunoda is in the AlphaTauri. but Lando Norris and Logan Sargent battling for position here, battling for P12, and once again Lando Norris is going to scurry out on top of that one. And as we get up here, we're going to go ahead and put on that deploy, and we are going to hope that Kevin Magnussen can make a move as he pulls out beside Yuki Tsunoda all the way down into turn 1, still side by side as they come out of turn 1. And by Yuki Tsunoda and the AlphaTauri goes Kevin Magnussen, as Kevin Magnussen is now up into P5, the highest spot we have been in so far in any race. Actually, I don't think that's true. I think we have been P5 once, which would still be true. It is the highest spot that we've been in. Going to go ahead and hit deploy. We have not a lot of ERS at the moment, but we do have DRS. We're not going to catch him there, and that is okay. Oh, it looked like he was about to pull out on him, as he is right there on the tail of George Russell, as we are coming through Sector 1 right now. Here we go. We are going to try to make a pass on George Russell as we come across the finish line. We have no ERS, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Down into turn 1, he is not going to be able to make that pass. So what we are going to do, since we are very close to George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, oh man, we are P5, but we could so very easily get P3. We are going to harvest as much as we can. Last 2 turns here. Here you go. We're going to put the ERS back on Bottas in the pit lane. That's going to put Nico Hulkenberg up into P10 in the points for now. But that's not going to mean a lot as he's looking for a way around Esteban Ocon. It is not going to happen. I need to turn that off before I forget about it. Let's go look at Kevin Magnussen as he's coming into the tunnel. Now 2.5 seconds behind P4 with Yuki Tsunoda still right there on his tail, looking for a way around him. And we are going to hope that our man Kevin Magnussen knows exactly what he's doing. I have a lot of faith in him, as he does, like I said earlier, seems to be doing better and better each week, as he is still holding on to P5. Unfortunately, the battling with and making sure Yuki Tsunoda stays behind him is slowing him down from George Russell. We're going to turn on his ERS just a little bit earlier, see if that gives him any shot at getting around Esteban Ocon here in the DRS zone. Coming down to turn 1, he looks like he's got the inside. Coming out of turn 1, he does have it inside. He is side by side up to the sharp turn. He's still side by side. It is coming up to the U-turn. It is Esteban Ocon. Esteban Ocon's going to win that fight this lap, but will he win the fight next lap? As it looks like they're still... No, it looked like they were side by side for a second, but it was just Nico Hulkenberg looking for a way around Esteban Ocon. Was that George Russell? Did he just go in the pit lane? He did not. I thought he did. As we start lap. Oh, and as Yuki Tsunoda, he is side by side into turn 1. He is side by side going through. And Yuki Tsunoda does make the pass on Kevin Magnussen. Up into P5 he goes, dropping Kevin Magnussen down to P6 with Pierre Gasly 3 seconds behind. We got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. Because Nick DeVries, who's also in points, AlphaTauri has 2 cars in points. I also just thought of this. This is going to mess up the point system. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put him back on normal. Yuki Tsunoda also pits. So who's going to get out of here faster? That is the question. Here comes Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen back on the road. Back in front of Yuki Tsunoda. He goes into P9. And in front of Valtteri Bottas for the time being. We need to put him on standard before anything. Before we forget at all. Okay, so it is 95. We're going to put them on the... And we missed it. Nico Hulkenberg.
Nico Hulkenberg there.
Down into turn 1 on the inside of Esteban Ocon. He goes, gets the pass, and he is up into P6 at the moment. And it looks like George Russell right there behind them, looking for his chance to get around as well. Magnussen all the way up 2.5 seconds. But still 5 seconds behind George Russell. So back up into P6 by the end of it. No, P5 because of Hulkenberg. And there is a yellow flag. Multiple cars have crashed. Is this going to be a safety? Major tire wear. Oh, heavens. It was Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg has decided it is now time to box. And... that is going to mess up a lot of things. That's going to mess it up. That's just going to mess it up.
Now we've got an incident here, and as I understand it, George Russell's involved.
George Russell's involved. Are we watching the replay or not? That doesn't look like a replay to me.
Remember, a long way to go in this race.
Something had to have happened between the two of them, as Magnussen gets overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda. But he's up into P6. Esteban Ocon has yet to box, so that's still going to put us P5. We have a good shot at P4 right as the race ends, so we're just going to leave him alone. And look at that rear wing. Jesus, what the heck is that? Is that safe? Is that safe? Is the FIA going to let us FIA going to let us continue with that wing? Look at the bottom of the wing. I just noticed that. That's fucking wild. That is not safe. Are they really going to let us race with that? That's crazy. First, he doesn't get a penalty for switching out his ERS in between qualifyings. And now, that is the most unsafe wing I have ever seen. It would be. And there's another yellow car. A safety car has come out. A safety car has come out. It was Hulkenberg on turn 3.
This was at turn 3.
How bad was it?
Clearly unable to take evasive action.
How bad was it?
To take for both driver and the car.
How bad was it? Is he out of the race? Was he just trying to make a pass? Was it because of that rear wing? Is the safety car going to let all the lap cars go or no? Race control. Lap cars may now overtake. And there they go. All the way back to Esteban Ocon. If the guy comes in, he does. And that is really going to help out Kevin Magnussen with getting points for now. And you know what? Actually, we're going to deploy. We're going to deploy and hopefully get some passes, as we are now right there with everybody. And we are already putting a gap behind us. As you can see, George Russell just chilling back there. I don't want to attack, but we're going to attack. Not a lot. Now what? Nah. I'm scared. I am scared. I won't lie. I'm a little scared. That is 4 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers. I cannot count. 5 drivers who are out of this race, and DRS is now activated, and we are almost 4 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. Let's look at some tires real quick. Our tires, oh, we got a medium up there. We have a 75% medium up there. That might help us out. Kevin, what is going on? All right, here we are. Kevin Magnussen passing the start-finish line with 15 laps to go. And as we saw earlier, he was about 5 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. And now he's on the cusp of being less than 4 seconds, so he is catching up. But we are going to look at those tires real quick, as we do see a 61% medium-tired Lewis Hamilton. As we come around the last turn, now 10 laps to go for Kevin Magnussen. And his hopes of catching Yuki Tsunoda are slightly draining. However, we are just about to hit right under 2 seconds, which will make things a lot easier. And there it is. We are under 2 seconds. Kind of. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do to help Kevin Magnussen is I'm going to go ahead and deploy his ERS because he needs to catch up. We're not going to deploy his tires just yet. We're going to deploy that ERS and see if that helps him catch Yuki Tsunoda at all, as we are going a lot faster through this track. Very close to a 1.5 seconds behind. I'm hoping we can get it right here at the end of this, and we do. We're getting closer. Can we get underneath that second? Can we get in the DRS zone before we get there? Oh, did we get it? Did we get it? Ah, we didn't get it. However, we are going to turn that off because we do need ERS to get around him. At the end of lap 73 on to lap 74 for us, ERS, DRS activated. Both of them are down into turn 1. We are looking for the inside with Kevin Magnussen. Around turn 1 he goes, side by side. We're going to go ahead and turn that off, and we have P4. We are finally in front of the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda up into P4 here on lap 74 of 78. To the thing, 3 laps to go. 3 seconds away from a podium finish, and we're still gaining. We have the ERS on harvest, and we're still gaining. We're under 2 seconds. Coming up to the start finish, we now have 3 laps to go to get 3 seconds, and then we're on a podium. Underneath, oh, can we get that DRS zone? Can we get it? It looks like we got it. I want to say we got it. We did. DRS on Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1. No DRS for the rest of the lap, but we are pushing not only our gas but our tires and our ERS. We are right there behind Lewis Hamilton, and a podium finish around the slow U-turn we go. Coming out of the slow turns, ERS still activated, coming all the way down the tunnel into the... Sainz has crossed the line. Verstappen has crossed the line. P3 is in a battle at the moment, and it looks like Lewis Hamilton is going to barely skate by with P3 here at Monaco. Coming around the last couple of turns, down into the last turn we go. Lewis Hamilton has it. We have no more ERS, but we have the DRS. Lewis Hamilton will take P3 here at Monaco. But Kevin Magnussen, with a tremendous finish for Haas today, takes P4. Coming across the line here is Yuki Tsunoda, P5. Then we got Esteban Ocon. We're going to put this back in the ×2. Pierre Gasly taking P5. P5. Nick DeVries, P7. Bottas, Ocon, Lando Norris. I got interrupted.
You have to say, Kevin Magnussen really didn't put a foot wrong today.
It's safe to say they exceeded all expectations. A finish in the points, and my goodness, it is very well deserved.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. And with that, the Sainz name remains engraved in F1 history.
And that's win number 1 of the season, and it's sure to provide them with a real confidence boost.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. Now, Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's results?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
And what an exciting Monaco Grand Prix, if I do say so myself. In real life, we were all hoping for a Fernando Alonso win, but that does not happen today as he was DNF'd at the first turn of the lap. Carlos Sainz taking pole, Max Verstappen in second, and Lewis Hamilton finishing out your podium with P3. Noting also Carlos Sainz getting the fastest lap with a 1:12.8, so he's going to get that extra point. It was very, very good to see 3 different constructor vehicles on the podium today instead of 2 Red Bulls and a Ferrari. I'm saying it. Kevin Magnussen with the best finish so far for Haas, all the way up in P4. That's wild. He's getting 12 points today. We are in the double digits. Yuki Tsunoda for AlphaTauri getting 10 points in P5. Pierre Gasly, Nick DeVries, also AlphaTauri getting 16 points today here in Monaco. Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, and Lando Norris finish out your top 10. And then looking further down, we have Alexander Albon, who did make it all the way up to P11, Oscar Piastri, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, and George Russell bringing up the rear of the pack as Nico Hulkenberg gets P6 in the DNF. He is the first one of the DNFs. It's always got to look at the bright side of everything, right? Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, all out this race. That is wild. What a wild turn one for this race. And that is going to be in the highlight reels for sure. Drivers' Championship up next. Max Verstappen still leading that with a 162. Carlos Sainz moving up to second place with 105. Charles Leclerc moving down to third. Sergio Perez moving down to fourth. Fernando Alonso staying in fifth place. Lewis Hamilton moving up to sixth. George Russell moving down to seventh. Lance Stroll moving down to eighth. Kevin Magnussen moving up to P9. We have a driver in the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship. Gotta be happy about that. Pierre Gasly staying P10. Esteban Ocon moving down to P11. Yuki Tsunoda moving all the way up to P12. Nick DeVries moving up to P13. Valtteri Bottas P14. Nico Hulkenberg P15. That is not Alexander Albon getting P16 in the points. Lando Norris also scoring points today as he gets P17. Oscar Piastri, Logan Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu, the only three on the grid yet to score a point. So not only was it a good thing to see three different constructors on the podium, it is also a good thing to see more than just one constructor. I'm sorry, more than just 5 constructors in the top 10, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different constructors in the top 10. Who didn't score points today? Who didn't score points today? The Williams. They didn't score points today. And Aston Martin. Aston Martin didn't score points today. I thought it was a little weird that we didn't see 9 or all 10. But we have 8 different constructors in the top 10. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm so sick of seeing Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, Alpine, Aston Martin, 1, 2, 3, 4, those 5. I'm sick of seeing those 5 in the top 10. A Williams and a Haas every now and then. Crazy. But again, what a fantastic race. It was the most exciting one so far this year, and I hope there's more to come that resemble it. Moving on to the constructors. Red Bull still leading with a 254 points. Ferrari staying where they are in second place. Aston Martin staying where they are in third place. Mercedes, Alpine, Haas still in 6th place. We love to see it, but we have 19 points. We're in the double digits. AlphaTauri moving up to 7th. Alfa Romeo moving up to 8th. Williams dropping down to 9th with their 2 points. Alfa Romeo and Williams, the only 2 to score points but not have double digits. And McLaren, all 10 have points now. McLaren having 1 point all the way down in last place. That just makes things exciting. And that will wrap up your round 9 Monaco Grand Prix, as we can already see some red things for the cars that we're going to have to fix before the next race. But round 8, did I say round 9? Wow. Let's try this again. Round 7. This is how we wrap up round 7 here at Monaco. Round 8 will be at Spain. And if you make it to this part of the video, and you've probably heard me say this before, I'm going to work, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I am going to make it a point to post at least 2 times a week and not 1 time a week. My goal is 3, but right now I'm going to make it a point to post at least twice. So you'll get this video today, and then you'll get another video later on in the week. And then, hopefully, I do what I say, and you'll get a third by the actual end of the week. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. And if you can't wait for the next video, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. At the end of the day, the only thing that really does for me is boost my confidence in making these videos, which I really do enjoy doing. This game right here has become more and more exciting each and every race that we have done so far. As, like I said, we now have 19 points. Kevin Magnussen getting all the way up to P4, battling for a podium position there at the end, just couldn't get it. However, time is still to be made because we have an 81 overall Kevin Magnussen, a 79 overall Nico Hulkenberg. These two battling for their contracts, basically. I just need at least, I'm going to keep at least one of them, probably both of them. But if I can get someone else who's interested, who's better than whoever I feel is the worst, I'm not even looking at overall. So if I get someone who's better, who I feel better than the worst, they're getting a contract over them. However, that is only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, like I said, those buttons only boost my confidence. And who are you to not help me boost my confidence, right? Right. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know I said that before, but until next time, goodbye.